Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I have a video that's a bit different to what I usually make. So this video is going to be entirely unscripted, which is not normal for me. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I recently hit 5,000 subscribers and I decided this would be a great time to do a Q&A. So I made a post both on my YouTube community tab as well as on my Discord server and just asked people to send me their questions and I would answer them in this video. I'm going to try to get around to as many as I can. If I don't answer your question, it's probably because either I don't know how to answer it or I'm not comfortable answering it, but I will try to get around to most of the questions people have asked. And we'll see. We'll see. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. I'm probably going to cut it down quite a bit. I am not the best at answering questions on the spot, but anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. Most unpopular opinion of the Melbourne train network. This is an interesting one. I'd probably say I really like the Siemens trains. They're probably my favorite type of train. They have the most comfortable ride. A lot of people don't like the design. I actually do quite like it, and especially with the new displays they're starting to get now, I really like that. And I think that just makes them even better. I know I can understand finding them a bit boring, but I just personally think they provide the best ride quality. What would you say is the worst station and line on the entire Melbourne suburban network? And V line if you have been around Victoria. My the worst station is definitely South Kensington. It is just like laughably bad. Like the platform is just so small, and you have these little shelters. And to get around the shelter, you have to like kind of walk across the yellow line. It's so bad. It is awful. Worst line on the Melbourne suburban network. I'll go with the upfield line. It's not really. It's just not that interesting. The frequencies are very bad, and yeah, it's just not that interesting. And it's just paralleled by a tram for most of it as well. As for V line, I think it's gonna have to be Heathcote Junction. It's just a pretty much useless station. Wundong serves that town a lot better. There's really no point for Heathcote Junction to still be here. As for the worst V line route, I'd say Maryborough. it Terrible frequencies. It's like one train per day, and it is slower than driving as well by quite a lot. There's not much point to taking the train to Maryborough. What would you say is your favorite tram stop on the network, and why? I would say that would go to South Melbourne Station on the 96. I just love that tram stop. It is on the light rail. You get great views of the city. There's some really cool street art as well. Nice nature. It's just such a nice place to wait for your tram. It is. It really is. I would highly recommend going there. If you were to build a new heavy rail line other than what is already proposed, what line would it be? Probably like a Frankston to Dandenong line, maybe. I think that's a very underrated kind of thing. I never really heard that many people talk about it. Maybe extend it to Ringwood if we're being ambitious here as well. We could go along the Eastlink freeway. Sorry, tollway. It's not a freeway. I think that would be kind of cool. Both Frankston and Dandenong. I mean, they both have a reputation, but they are pretty big places. Lots of interesting stuff. I think there'll be a lot of people, a lot of demands for travel between them. What got you into trains and trams? I live in an area with lots of trams. Thought it was pretty cool. Not really that much more to say. And with trams, eventually comes trains. If you're interested in trams, you're also going to be interested in trains. So yeah. What made you start a transport YouTube channel, and who are your inspirations? Okay, so obviously we have people like Tatesat, Metroman Melbourne, Moo Transit before that channel kind of got deleted. I guess I watched a lot of the Train Man videos. Doesn't upload anymore, but they were pretty good videos. Honestly, I just kind of had watched all the transport content that was already out at the time, and I was kind of like, I kind of want more content. I kind of feel like There should be more of this stuff. And I also originally, all of my earlier videos are more dedicated to trams instead of trains. And I still try to keep a lot of tram related content on this channel because I know a lot of other channels almost exclusively focus on trains. And it's like, we have the largest tram network in the world. Why is there not more content about it? But I will say that generally it is easier to make content about trains because honestly, there's just more opportunities. There's more things to make content about, if that makes sense. Favorite V-line route? It's a tricky one. I'd say the best in terms of just how good it is to travel on would be Albury because it's pretty fast. You got the new standard gauge velocities with the buffet, which is pretty good. Albury is a pretty nice place, but honestly, I would say my favorite probably have to be Warrnambool. It's biased. I don't really have a reason why. I just really like the Warrnambool line, even though it's always at least 10 minutes late. What was my favorite video to make? Ooh, this is a good question. Honestly, the first video, Melbourne's Strangest Tram Stops, that was really fun to make. I really enjoyed that one. I do love making the strangest train stations, strangest tram stops videos. All of those are fun to make. It's really fun. Like you always go out to the station and you discover something new you didn't expect to find, which is really interesting. I also really honestly, okay, I would say my favorite video to make would be the every form of public transport in Melbourne, which, by the way, I am still pissed off at myself for forgetting about the Arthur's Seat gondola. I wish I included that. It would have made the video so much better. A lot of people forget that exists. It is really cool, even if it is really expensive. That was really fun going out trying Flexi Ride, even though it was a bit of a disaster. It was interesting. It was fun. I love the Westgate Ferry. Highly recommend you try that at some point. I love just like trying those slightly obscure forms of public transport. I'd say that's my favorite, honestly. Favorite tram route and type of tram. Okay, so my favorite tram route in terms of like service, how good it is for the average person to use, I would say that would be the 96. My favorite tram route in terms of how interesting it is, just in general, would be the 82. I have a whole video about it. And my favorite type of tram would probably be the B class. Favorite metro station on the network, Tacoma. It has to be Tacoma. The scenery is just amazing there. Definitely go to Tacoma. Number one thing. Very quiet as well. Very great place to film trains since there's almost always only maybe one or two people there. When you started, did you think you would get big? No. In fact, when I started, I thought maybe I'll make 2, 3, maybe 4 videos. They might get maybe 1,000, maybe 2,000 if I'm lucky, views each, and then I'd probably quit and move on to something else. But unexpectedly, the first video I made just completely blew up. It has maybe 60,000 views now. I did not expect that. I got very lucky. I'm glad so many people enjoyed that first video. Personally, I don't think it's very good, but it really hit the algorithm, and I guess that kind of made me be like, oh, all right, well, let's make this a real thing, you know? Do you find the pressure of a large community of viewers a benefit to your work or a detriment? Had to specifically kind of tailor my content to like videos that get views because there's some videos that I expect to get a lot of views and then they don't. There are some videos where I expect them to not get many views at all and they do. Like Stony Point line video. That is my most viewed video. I did not expect that to do well at all. I expected that video to be a flop, honestly, when I was making it. I didn't think it was very good, but it ended up being my most viewed video. And other videos like every form of public transport in Melbourne, I was so confident that video would do really well. It did not. And I do think if I had a smaller community, it would be a lot easier for me to, I guess, do what I want without worrying about stuff like this. Where do I see myself and this channel in a few years? I don't think uploads are going to be as frequent in the coming years because schoolwork is going to get a lot harder next year and especially the year after that. But I don't have any plans on fully stopping uploading. It just might not be as frequent. It might be maybe once a month instead of every 2 weeks. Basically, as long as I still have ideas, I'll keep making videos. As long as I still have motivation, keep doing it. Potentially in the far future, like 3 or 4 years from now, I might stop. But for now, I don't plan to do that. Which YouTube channel do you want to beat in subs? Let's beat Mr. Beast. Subscribe so we can beat Mr. Beast in subs. What do you think would be bigger, Metro Tunnel 2, Mont Park Line re-extended, SRL, or Airport Line? Definitely SRL. How do you feel about freight rail? Do you think there should be more industrial sidings in Victoria? I think freight trains are very good, but I do think we should be very careful to separate it from passenger rail so there's no conflicts there. I think that is very important. If I could add one tram route, what would it be and why? I would say a tram along the beach. Take a tram from Port Melbourne to St Kilda, along the beach, Port Melbourne as well. That would be really cool. I think a tram that just runs the length of the beach would be really good. What's your favorite Victorian locomotive? Oh, I would have to say the L class, the electric ones that went to Traralgon. Those are really cool. Which city in Australia do you think has the best public transport? I hate to say it, but it has to be Sydney. I'm sorry. Melbourne, it's close. I hate having to admit it, but Sydney, they might not have trams, but the trains are much more frequent. There's higher ridership just in general. The buses are a lot better. They're actually building new tram lines, which is something Melbourne is definitely not doing, despite the fact that we have the largest tram network in the world. They have an automated metro system. We're not going to get that until 2035. It has to be Sydney. Why is your profile picture Ralsei from Deltarune? Because I like Deltarune. It's a good game. You should play it. Have you ever ridden on the Blue Mountain Scenic Railway before? I have not. What's the best ticket design from Melbourne? Definitely the Met card, honestly. I love the Met card design. What should be prioritized first? Airport line or suburban rail loop? SRL East is probably more important than the airport line. What is your favorite Frankston line station? Carrum, definitely Carrum. Great view. I haven't actually been there yet. I've been past there on the train. I do need to actually go there for myself soon. So maybe that'll be in a future video. I don't know. Alright, so I think that's all the questions I'll be answering for today. Yes, this is a very long video, a lot longer than normal. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.